Hello, welcome to the Master Wing channel. Today for our Dice Stone character review, we're taking a closer look at GAMBIT. At the time of this recording, GAMBIT was recently released with the X-Men Missions Kickstarter, but is also available in retail. GAMBIT's kit is more challenging to pull off, sitting at the max complexity level of 6, but that makes him satisfying to use when you accelerate his famous ace cards and explode them for more damage. By the end of this video, you will understand all of GAMBIT's status effects, an overarching view of attacks and strategy, as well as some special cards to look out for. Let's jump right into GAMBIT's leaflet. We'll start at the bottom of the leaflet with Disruption. This is a negative status effect you can impose on your opponent. During their upkeep phase, the player may choose to lose 1 CP. If they do not, or cannot, they receive 2 damage instead and the token is removed. I really like this status token because you're guaranteed to negatively affect your opponent somehow, whether in the form of combat points or health. Next is Dissolution. This is a positive status effect for yourself when playing GAMBIT. You can spend it on your main phase to heal 2 or remove a negative status effect. And last but not least, you have Molecular Acceleration. These tokens are used to charge your 4 ace cards, probably the main reason you chose to play GAMBIT in the first place. Also, these tokens cannot be transferred or removed by your opponent. Let's speak more about the Molecular Acceleration and take a closer look at these ace cards. As you can see, all 4 ace cards add damage, but each have slightly different effects that you can perform as an attack modifier once that ace card is fully charged. For instance, you can see the Ace of Spades will add 3 damage as an attack modifier, plus an additional 2 if you activated an ability that involves a 6. A good strategy would be to charge up and explode the Ace of Spades and Ace of Hearts first, since the Spade can add the most damage and the Heart helps regain some health. The Ace of Clubs isn't bad either since it fully charges quicker, only needing 2 Molecular Acceleration. But whichever ace you choose, you would likely save the Ace of Diamonds for later because the Ace of Diamonds lets you regain up to 2 other ace cards. So in short, explode 2 aces, then explode the Ace of Diamonds to get them back and able to charge again. But how do you charge up these aces anyway? GAMBIT has a high-stakes passive ability that you perform during your upkeep phase. You have 2 options. Roll 2 dice and accelerate those aces depending on whatever dice face you roll, or roll 5 dice and accelerate those aces even more. But if you roll 5 dice and you end up rolling a 1, you gain nothing from the ability and must remove 1 Molecular Acceleration. I guess that risk-reward is why it's called high stakes. I suppose if you have nothing to lose on turn 1, why not roll 5? But in my experience, it's not a bad idea to consistently accelerate rolling the 2 dice instead. There are also other ways to charge the ace cards. GAMBIT's defense, Creole Crusader, and the majority of his offensive abilities, including Ragin' Cajun and Sleight of Hand, can accelerate those aces, so you normally don't have a problem charging cards. Also, when you activate an offensive ability that utilizes a heart, diamond, or a spade club, you may accelerate 1 ace card and only one with a matching symbol. It's also important to note that you can only explode 1 ace card per turn unless a card or ability says otherwise. That's another reason I usually just roll 2 dice with high stakes. Poker Face is a great early game attack. Accelerate 3 times, gain Dissolution, gain 1 CP, draw 1 card, and inflict Disruption. A pretty good momentum booster if you end up rolling 2 hearts. The straight ability, Card Shark, hits hard with 7 or 9 damage already before adding on any other ace card explosions. And GAMBIT's Bojutsu ability is an interesting attack that only does 2 undefendable, but it lets you explode 1 additional ace card, increasing that undefendable damage significantly. And of course, if you roll 5 6s, don't forget about his ultimate, Le Diable Blanc. Accelerate 4 times, gain Dissolution, inflict Disruption, then regain an ace card and deal 11 damage, plus whatever ace you explode. Now let's take a look at some cards. Here are 2 upgrades that kind of stand out to me. Bowstaff 2 gives you an additional attack. So if you want to do more than Bow Staff or you miss out on your Sleight of Hand ability, Bow Staff Mastery, deal 5 damage and roll 5 so you can accelerate your ace cards and do more damage. And then also the Sleight of Hand 2 ability, All In. I find this ability as more of a fallback ability when I miss out on a straight. Maybe I roll a 4, 5, 6 and I don't get that 3. The all-in ability deals 2 damage, which is kind of weak, but if you explode an ace card, activate its explode effect a second time, which is pretty fun to do. I'm also a fan of card magic. You may re-roll up to 2 dice during your high stakes ability, which makes me lean towards rolling 5 dice in my upkeep phase instead of 2. Also, you have 3 card Monty, regain up to 3 ace cards. That's a nice insurance card to have in your back pocket. And then also Extreme Remy. For each ace card that has an available charge slot, accelerate it once, which is a real boost to your game tempo. Then you have Rogue's Kiss. Change any one of your dice to a 4 or 5, which could come in handy for your straights or sleight of hand. And then lastly, Gambit's Gambit. You may explode 1 additional ace card this turn. If you play your cards right, you could turn a 9 or 10 damage attack into 15 plus. In summary, you can see Gambit isn't as complicated as his complexity level suggests. It's just accelerating and managing ace cards. You get used to rolling every time for the upkeep high stakes ability, and accelerating cards is a fun build up to a potentially devastating attack. As always, it just depends on how you roll. A safe bet, in my opinion, would be to keep the 4s and 5s in hopes of a straight, and pivot to Sleight of Hand, Poker Face, or Bojutsu if needed. He's honestly one of my favorite Dice Throne characters, and it's really satisfying having 4 attack modifiers charged up and waiting in your back pocket for the right moment. As always, if there's something else you'd like to point out about this hero, feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for the next Dice Throne video. Thank you, and continue having fun playing Dice Throne.